Dr. Elmer, Advanced Neurospinal Solutions, and we're discussing laser. This is our Avante laser. It has red and infrared, or red and violet light waves, and we can set it at any frequency we want. The question was about laser and memory problems. And yes, we have specific protocols for that, and it's not only the wavelength that we're going to be using, which is interesting, the frequency that we're going to be using within those wavelengths, but also where we're going to hit whatever we're shooting at. So when we're dealing with memory problems, we have very specific areas that we're going to hit in relation to the brain, in relation to memory. Remember, we talked about memory was 4 different parts of the brain, and each one has its own aspect. And knowing where the memory problem is gives us the ability to focus not only on all the areas of memory, but to spend more time with the area that needs the most help. So as we turn the laser on here, one of the areas that we're going to be hitting is the frontal lobe. So you see that, and we'll be hitting very specific areas. This is a frontal lobe therapeutic application here. We're going to be taking other areas in the temporal lobes here. We're going to also be in the cerebellum. Remember, the cerebellum was about procedural memory. Frontal lobe was about, frontal and parietal lobes were about the working memory. And then we have the hippocampus, and I like to hit it not only this way, but up underneath, because it's deep. The hippocampus is deep in that. So this is interesting. And we can specifically target those areas and the frequencies that they need in order to step up the cells within the brain to get them to operate at the frequency they're supposed to be operating at. As they start to dial back, as we have sicknesses, as we have diseases, as we have injuries, as we have life, as we have age, those things start to dial back. And what's fun about laser is we can turn back the clock on those cells. We can step up their game, and we can do it from the inside out. Because I can, as a neurologist, one of the big things that I do is push those cells and make them do stuff, and then they have to start doing their changes. This goes inside the cell before I even start. And so I can step up those cells' games and get them to do more with what they already have, and cause the cells to increase. Imagine if we hit the cell and those mitochondria, the powerhouses, start stepping up their game, then it causes the cell internally to start changing from the inside, because then all of a sudden we're activating the DNA in a different way to get more efficient mitochondria, but also more of them. When you think of every nerve cell having to have 1,000 mitochondria in it, as we increase their number and their efficiency, those cells are going to do so much more. They're going to act like way back whenever that was. So that's to answer that question, particularly about memory problems and laser. And like I said, we're now offering laser as a standalone therapy. You can come in and we can find out, what it is you would like us to use the laser on, and any condition that we're doing it, and then we can do those protocols. We have specific means to do that. So if you have any more questions, please feel free to ask, and happy to do another video relating to it. Thank you.